in regards to this.
I also have a question in regards about a man's body count and to you women. So ladies, does it matter to you, the guy that you're seeing, does it matter if he can fuck you good? Or does it, like, because here's the question. To fuck you good, he's got to go through a bunch of other women in the past to learn how to fuck you.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think so.
I mean,
From a guy's perspective, an 18-year-old is not going to know how to fuck just because he watches porn.
Totally accurate.
A 35-year-old is going to know how to fuck because he's had a plethora of women.
But say you're dating a 25-year-old who's been in a 3-year relationship with another girl, tried a bunch of stuff with her, and knows how to fuck her, and then he knows how to fuck you. It's just one relationship, one body. He's fucking me.
Here's the example that really matters versus whether you're fucking a 4'11" girl or whether you're fucking a 4'11" girl or a girl that's 6 foot.
Gotcha.
You fuck them differently.
What if they're fucking together?
Tom, you fuck them different.
You fuck them differently.
Well, obviously the positioning.
Sex is about angles. You have to, and sex is about angles
100%.
versus you able to pick them up. Whether the things you're able to do, the positions you're able to do with them. You can't fuck this.
Like a thick chick, you're gonna fuck her differently than a little petite thing.
Yeah.
A little petite thing.
And let's just say this guy has been with only tall women, so he's not gonna know how to fuck a short queen.
But it doesn't mean that you can't teach him.
It's not gonna be immediately. Maybe after a while. But you want a man that can fuck you and get you going. And he has to have bodies under his belt.
And disagree.
I disagree.
I feel like body count for men, personally, I don't think it matters that much. I don't think it does. Because as long as they don't show that, let me word this right. As long as they aren't like showing disinterest in me because of their high body count, it doesn't affect me. Like, why would that affect me?
So you guys are fine with a guy with a super low body count who is horrible in the bedroom with you. It doesn't matter to you whether he fucks you really good or not. Is that important to you?
I prefer better sex over.
Well, he's not going to have a low body count.
Well, then body count does not matter.
If he's like in relationships, then he doesn't know how to fuck if he's in.
He's only just because he's
Maybe
been with one person for 2 years. Just because he's been with one person for 2 years doesn't mean he knows how to fuck anybody besides that one person.
Right. If that one person isn't adventurous, but say he was with, somebody who's really into all sorts of fun stuff and she orders BDSM products
The exception doesn't make the rule.
He's into it.
The exception doesn't make the rule.
I don't think body count in a guy necessarily correlates to his skill in bed, because a guy who's had like say 5 long-term girlfriends versus he's slept with 50 chicks but only 1 or 2 times each.
Yes.
He's probably had more sex in those relationships
and more adventurous sex, more exploratory.
And it's probably been boring and it's probably been basic.
No, that's
the
opposite.
I disagree with you a little bit on that, but I'm not saying a guy who's only had a bunch of casual relationships, he can be good in bed too. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying, like, I don't think body count necessarily, like if a guy's body count's 5, he could be fucking killer in bed.
Well, let's just say the guy that has a body count, let's say of 100, he's gonna fuck you better than a guy with a body count of 2.
Disagree.
Not necessarily.
And just
experience. You practice in a sport, it makes you better.
Sure, but so you dedicate 10,000 hours to your sport of fucking 10,000 women, but you dedicate 10,000 hours to your sport of fucking your one partner, and you try a whole bunch of new stuff with them. It's the same experience.
But that only works with her. It's not.
It's not more beautiful. It's not more exciting.
Just because it worked with her in a certain way that you did it.
You get different experiences with different people.
I see what you mean, because women's orgasm response is very varied.
Different.
And it's
like
completely
different women.
Every
so
different
like
woman.
I kind of see what you're saying, where if you have a bit more experience, like, because what works for one girl doesn't work for another. I see what you mean there, but you did mention it's not going to be freaky or whatever.
It doesn't have to always be, but I'm assuming that a guy that's only been with 2 women, it's probably not as freaky as a guy who's been with 50.
I think through every man or every new partner that you have or same partner that you have, you teach each other things and you learn from each other.
Not if you're both vanilla. Not if one of them's vanilla.
Well, what I would say though to that is you're not really going to be able to explore some kinks in a one-night stand, really.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
in a relationship, that's when you can go, I think, deeper into.
But if you have a one night stand, you better know how to fuck her right.
Sure.
Okay, but
nobody's arguing.
But
okay,
wait.
But what is her version of fucking her right in comparison to somebody else? So say you're.
How often?
Right,
when's the last time you were when's the last time you were with a man that made you come?
That is none of your business. Very recently. Very recently.
Well, how rare is that to happen?
It's not that rare if you have good communication.
It's actually very rare compared to.
How are you going to tell me what's? How are you
I don't know the
what's rare
stat.
and what's not?
Well, I mean, I watch a lot of podcasts, so I'm just.
There's also statistics on how many girls fake orgasms we could bring up for you that might not be.
Can I ask you a question? So, if you're just having a bunch of one night stands, right? From what I've heard from women is, if you're having casual sex with guys, in those scenarios, guys are going to be much more focused on their own pleasure than getting the girl off. Like, and if you're just like fucking the girl one time, you're going to be like a little less concerned with getting her off.
And your idea,
I'll still be able to do it.
My enjoyment is her enjoyment.
Well, what if you don't know her enjoyment then? How are you going to fuck her good if you don't know her enjoyment? If you're
making her come.
You gotta know how to make her come.
Okay, but what if you have never fucked her before? How are you going to make her come? Just from
being with a lot of girls,
being with all the
girls, easy.
Being with 50 girls who come in different ways? You're going to fuck the same girl the way you fuck all 50 girls?
If plan A didn't work, plan B didn't work, plan C can work.
If you're gonna fuck me the same way you fucked 50 other girls,
I'm
sorry.
Well, that's the point. We're not supposed to fuck you the same way.
Okay, but if you've been with 50 other girls as a comparison to being with one person that you have gotten to know and understood.
At the end of the day, a marriage, 80% of marriages divorce because of sex. Whether you're not having it or whether it's not pleasurable. Go look up the stat. 80% of divorce comes. 80% of divorce.
Cap. Where's the cap button?
80% of divorce factors in a lack of sex, a lack of good sex.
Erroneous. Erroneous.
I would say I kind of disagree with you on that. The divorce stats, as far as I know, the leading cause of divorce is typically finance.
Finance. But 80% of those divorces wouldn't happen if you could fuck her better.
I don't agree.
There could be something to that.
Subjective, but okay.
But I agree with you in the sense of, even for like something more casual, like you are still focused on the girl's pleasure. Like for me, I'm always like, I'm going to make her come first, then I'm going to come after. So, but actually really quick, let's go around the table on this. So if the sex is bad, is it a wrap? And guys, we will get caught up on the super chats. We're going to go around the table on this and then we'll do super chats. I see all the super chats, guys. We will get to them. So if the sex is bad, is it a wrap?
Okay. I've had this experience, but first date, if the sex is bad and I know the guy isn't very experienced, give him another chance. If I'm really into him, if I love this guy, like I'm ready to kind of commit to him, give him another chance and try again. And then see if that connection's there. Because what matters to me more is not that the guy knows what moves to make. It's more that like we can like, feel it and like really get into it. And the passion is what matters. So I think that there's room for the guy to learn in my book.
Sure.
Depends on the situation.
Maybe first time nerves. Let's say the performance isn't really up to par the first.
Depends on the case, yeah.
And what happens if it's
try to
bad
be more precise.
On situation number 2, number 3?
I don't know. I've never had to worry about that before, so I guess I haven't thought of it.
But what if it occurred? Like, let's say you like the guy, but sex wasn't great,
If I really
or is the sex just always bomb with you?
If I really liked the guy, it'd be about more than just that.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like if they suck during like the initial time, if you're communicating and you're saying like what you want and what you don't like that they do, it's going to improve. Like if you're going into it and you're like, he didn't know that I wanted this specifically. Yeah, it's going to suck because you're not telling him what you want. And that goes both ways. If you want like a certain thing done in bed and that's going to make you come, say it.
Tell us, please.
Well, what happens if it's still, what happens if he still has to hit the spot after 5-10 times? If he can't fuck you, you're going to disappear.
Listen, not necessarily disappear, but give valid feedback. And then if it still doesn't improve, yes, sex is extremely important when it comes to long-term commitment. I cannot argue that.
But when what we're talking about, that comes with experience and having more sex under your belt, regardless whether it's with one person. And like the way you come is not going to be the same way you come. So just you got to know how to make, and depends on how many partners you have, but you have to figure out, you can't just be a one-trick pony. Mm-hmm. And you practice more tricks by getting in more practice.
Let's continue going around the table on this. What about you?
I feel like good sex like comes with having a lot of passion. So like if you're really vibing with a person, first date, and you have sex like and it's not that good, I feel like you can give them another try.
Yeah.
And
what if it's not so good the next time for you?
But it really depends on how much I'm liking this person. Like if I'm like just like if I'm not looking for anything serious, then yeah, probably.
What are you looking for?
In this exact moment?
Sure.
Situationship.
You're looking for a situationship.
Yeah,
okay.
I think I'd be perfect for that, honestly.
Okay, her DMs are open.
You heard that, ladies and gentlemen.
But yeah, like so with that, it's like if it's bad and you're not looking for anything, then like why do it again, you know?
Okay.
I mean, I think if you have chemistry and you're willing to, like if you really like them and the first time, yeah, it's not great, I do think that you can improve it by telling them. And if they're...
Tilt the microphone down towards you.
And if they're open to, you know, getting you off and like listening to what you're saying, then yeah, I think it can get better. Okay. But I mean, also if they're not and they are kind of just caring about themselves, then yeah, that's a no.
I definitely think there's room for growth. No pun intended. But I really do. I think what the thank you. What the consensus has said, I think when there is love and passion there, that there is opportunity for growth and learning. But I feel like if there is no improvement long term, that no, like it depends what you value. It depends what you value. Personally, if it's not getting any better and it's something that doesn't seem like can be taught or not willing to switch something up or learn, then yeah, it may be a bit of a turn off, but long term.
See, here's a problem though, is regardless, I've been in 2 situations where the woman was absolutely beautiful. I was very physically attracted to her, but in the bedroom, you can make an argument that the quicker sex the guy has, the faster he comes, the more he enjoys it, or the better the sex is for him. Where you can go hours. There's multiple situations with these 2 women in the past year where the sex would be 3 hours long, nonstop, and I couldn't finish. And I've also been with women that I can fuck her 6 times in 3 hours. It's the body chemistry.
Also, how much alcohol you have in your system.
Well, the times that both of those situations where 1 round, 3 hours, there was no alcohol.
Crazy.
And it just boils down to how much you actually physically like them and how much body chemistry do you have. You won't know until you're in the bed.
Wait, did you say the 3 hours was with someone you didn't feel chemistry with, or you did?
Physical, like I found her very beautiful. Mm-hmm. Inside the bedroom,
not so much.
She was enjoying it. She thought because I could go 3 hours nonstop, she was having the time of her life. And she would hit me up later on. But I gave her 3 different tries. This one girl, I gave her 3 different tries. I'm like, maybe I'll enjoy it later on. But it was always just extremely long rounds. And a guy that's really enjoying it is going to finish fast.
Yeah.
But did you like communicate with her, or did you just assume
there's nothing she was doing wrong?
Well, then, if there's something you need to come that's not happening, you're physically attracted to her, but the sex is not feeling it. Like, why would you not just say, let's try this?
It was nothing to do with her.
Oh.
Then you're not as physically attracted to her. I feel like
very beautiful face, perfect body, very beautiful face and a perfect body.
Sometimes it's just like the person won't vibe with you sexually.
Sometimes it just isn't there, and that's okay.
Oh.
Sexual attraction is different than just like physical attraction.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so my take on this is, and I don't know, and we'll watch the video on this, my view on this is very similar to Andrew Tate's view on this. I know you guys don't like Andrew Tate, but actually he has, I think, a take that some of you might like is, like, if a girl is genuinely trying, she's trying her best, but maybe she's not that good. First off, it's very hard for a woman to be bad in bed. Like, men are going to be the drivers of bad sex. Like, a woman really doesn't need to do much.
It's not about her being bad. It's just you just don't enjoy it with her.
Well,
and
it takes a lot for a girl to fuck up sex. Like, honestly, a girl can do very little and the sex can still be great. Like, a girl really doesn't have to do all that much for the sex to be good. But let me just finish my thing here. So, as long as she's like best effort, as long as she's trying, if she doesn't, like, some guys are thinking, oh, well, a lot of girls think, oh man, here's how I get a guy. I got to suck his dick really good and I got to fuck him really good. No, like, the way you're going to get a guy is everything else that you're bringing outside of the bedroom. You have to offer more than just sex. That's what's going to turn me on, is not like how good you can suck dick or the way in which you can maneuver your pelvis on top of me. Like, that is not important to me. I don't, like, if I love her and she loves me and I can tell that she's trying and she doesn't suck dick very well, it's like, well,
you need an A1 effort.
It's like, well, you're not the best at it, but I love you. Yeah. You love me. That's what matters. And I think you'll impress me much more by the other things that you're bringing outside of the bedroom than just, oh, can you do what's that stupid shit from Call Her Daddy, the fucking Glock 9000, that bullshit. I don't
watch that show, but yeah.
Yeah, actually, let's just watch the Tate video because he articulates it way better than me. I pretty much almost lifted it from him, but that's how I feel like. And I just also, before you pull it up, like I said, it's really, I know what I'm doing in the bedroom. Like, I know how to lead, so like, a girl could have.
Isn't that all that's really necessary? Just a man that knows how to lead, and then you just kind of like follow?
Well, here's the thing.
You can take control, but
that's the thing. That's the thing, and I think that's kind of one of the reasons why men and women value body count differently. I could have fantastic sex with a girl who's a virgin. Most girls are going to look at a guy who's a virgin.
They don't want to touch him.
And like, the sex is that's going to be a coin like that. Also, I don't think girls want to teach guys how to fuck them.
That's you and I are thinking about the exact same clip, and that's exactly what I was taking this from.
Now, not to say that I'm not, like, if a girl, I'll ask a girl for like some feedback. Is there certain thing that you prefer, faster, slow, whatever. But like, girls really don't want to like teach a guy like how to fuck them.
We don't mind that. We can marry a virgin, and we don't mind teaching them because it will get better with time. Yeah. But the women are not going to put up with that.
Word.